Hey guys, back to another video. This time I'm going to be doing a quick review of the Bose Ultra soundbar that was just released. First things first, I didn't have any experience with the Bose 900 soundbar, so this is my first experience with a Bose soundbar in years. The Bose 600 just came out not too long ago, and that has caught my eye mainly because of its outfiring drivers and a form factor similar to the Sonos Beam. But other than that, this is a soundbar that I was really excited to test out. Now, this soundbar, as you can tell, has two outfiring drivers. Honestly, I was expecting that, since Bose has released a flagship soundbar in a few years, I honestly was kind of hoping that they were going to release four outfiring drivers, almost like what the Nakamichi Dragon has, but they stuck with two. Overall, the design, from what I can tell, is very similar to the Bose 900 soundbar. This soundbar, like the Sonos, comes in black and white. I think the black looks very, very elegant. This glass top and the metal grille are definitely very premium materials, and I do prefer it slightly over the Sonos. Now, in terms of the actual size of the soundbar, you can tell that the Bose is much slimmer than the Sonos. If you're going to be mounting your soundbar, that might not really matter to you, or if you have a taller TV. But for a lot of people that have shorter TV on shorter legs, that will be actually a deciding factor, as this soundbar will have no problem sitting right beneath your TV. It won't draw too much attention to itself, but once it does, you can just tell that it's a very elegant and well-crafted piece of hardware. So with the Bose soundbar, you do get the remote. Now, in my unboxing video, I did mention it felt a little cheap. I actually take that back. It does feel light, but it does not feel cheap. The buttons are very responsive, and they have this nice silicone material right here, which I really like. And overall, it's very nice to have a remote. But personally, I found myself still using my Siri remote to control my Apple TV, and I can control the volume through here too, just like I can with the Sonos. So while I like using the remote for the Bose and the Sonos app for the Sonos, I still find myself just reaching for the Siri remote. So I don't think it's the biggest deal that Sonos doesn't have a remote. Now, as I mentioned, the materials here are very premium. When you're holding the soundbar, which you're only going to really be doing a few times while you have it, you feel, very quality materials. You're touching glass, you're touching cold metal. With the Sonos, it's still very, very well crafted, but you can definitely tell, it's just very high quality plastic. So in terms of build quality, especially for the same price, I definitely give it over to the Bose. And honestly, props to Bose for getting the soundbar so slim to sound so good. They added DTS:X support. I'm not sure if the 900 had it, but this bar definitely has it. So you have Dolby Atmos and DTS:X support, as opposed to just Dolby Atmos with the Sonos. And as much as I love the Sonos, at this price point, that is pretty unacceptable for a flagship soundbar to not include both codecs. If you have an Android phone, I would just go ahead and recommend you to buy this. I mean, don't really be looking at one or the other. Just buy the Ultra soundbar, because the headset that you get with it to be able to do the room calibration works with anything. It connects directly to the soundbar, and no matter what type of phone you have, you can go ahead and make sure that you have the most balanced audio you can possibly get. With the Sonos, you do need an iOS. You have an iOS, doesn't really matter for you. If you have an Android, I would actually feel like I'm not getting the best possible sound from my soundbar, and spending $900 for a soundbar, I really don't think that would be wise to spend that money on a soundbar where you don't think you're getting the most out of it. Moving on to the most important thing, which is going to be sound quality. Now, I'll be giving you guys a demo of the sound quality in A and B with Sonos, but let's just talk about the audio quality for the Bose Ultra. This soundbar, what mainly surprised me was the bass. The bass on this soundbar is, in my opinion, more powerful than the Sonos. Not by a lot, but definitely more powerful. This soundbar has, I've disconnected it from the sub and the rears, you know, to make it a more fair comparison. And while this soundbar provides a very good amount of bass for its size, somehow in a slimmer factor, Bose was able to get more bass out of this bar. So if you're not planning on adding a sub or, you know, anything else, just a all-in-one soundbar, I would go with the Bose. The Bose gives you a more cinematic sound just from a single bar, you know, obviously without spending more money on something like the Ambio. But yes, the Bose gives you a much more cinematic sound just from the bar. It's not the biggest difference, but it definitely is noticeable. Now, the Sonos does sound wider, but the voice clarity, I found it to be a little bit better on the Bose. The Bose sounds great for music as well, and that bass also helps, you know, fill out the sound a little bit more. What I did think that this soundbar lacked a little bit in terms of performance was the up-firing drivers. I had a hard time really hearing these up-firing drivers. I try to play, you know, reference level Atmos movies, and while I am sitting about, I would say 14 feet away from my TV, the Sonos Arc did do a better job of, you know, just rendering those height effects. So, again, not the biggest difference, but it is noticeable. So it really depends on what you want. You want an all-in-one soundbar, especially if you have an Android, go with the Bose. If you're gonna be adding a sub, different rears, because the Era 300s will blow anything out of the water that Bose has currently for their surrounds. Overall, multi-room, you're very interested in multi-room, go with the Sonos. Want a single unit soundbar that just sounds very cinematic and sounds incredible, go with the Ultra. The Ultra, I'm not really sold on it, mainly because of its surrounds. I think they are very small, and I read that you aren't able to adjust the volume levels on it. So, you know, with the Sonos, you have the option of between Sonos 1s, Era 100s, Sonos 5s, and Era 300s as surrounds. You know, but whatever suits you best. This soundbar is an incredible performer from Bose. I don't think many people will be disappointed with it. At this price point, though, once you buy one of these, you are locked in either of these ecosystems. So honestly, I do prefer the Bose, the Sonos ecosystem. But Bose did a remarkable job with this soundbar, so definitely props to them. And if you just like the Bose brand, you will not be disappointed with the soundbar. Now, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you want any more videos, I'll go ahead and listen to any comments, any suggestions, and I'll go ahead and put the sound demos towards the end of this video.
Wanderer with no home. But now, I'm a husband and a father. And it wouldn't happen any other way. I'm why you do, Pops. My job is a little less stressful than yours. Oh yeah, I finally got a job. I'm the king of Atlantis. 500 million people. The wanderer with no home. But now, I'm a husband and a father. That wouldn't happen any other way. I'm why you do it, Pops. My job was a little less stressful than yours. Oh yeah, I finally got a job. I'm the king of Atlantis. 500 million people from every known species in life.
This whole thing is insane. But a couchsurfing Mersey sent me, he is the best one. Amazing. Yes! Welcome to Team This End. What's next? Major leagues. The other drivers are going to hate you. Okay. What's your problem? It's one of the game. It's called racing. If you miss a line in the game, you reset. You miss it on the track, you could die. This whole thing is insane. But out of couch surfing nerds that you sent me, he is the best one. Miz. Yes! Welcome to Team This End. What's next? To Major Leagues. The other drivers are going to hate you. One day. What is your problem? It's part of the game. It's called racing. If you miss a line in the game, you reset. You miss it on the track, you could die.